last chance. Yes or no?
Go to hell.
Sign me up.
No women in quick draws. Against the rules.
There's no rule against ladies. It's just the women can't shoot for shit.
That's right.
Adios, Reverend.
Bang, bang.
The quick and the dead in this town. You're either one or the other.
Who's the quick and who's the dead?
The quick are the ones that draw it fast, and the dead are usually anyone who stands up against Sharon Stone. Anyone whose name is not above the title, before the title, is usually in the dead part. Smaller actors. The smaller actor, the smaller their name, the sooner they leave town boot first. It's the same thing that all Westerns are about. It's a classic story of good and evil. You know, a very simple story. And this story has been told 100 times before. It's a story of a character that comes to town to kill the person that killed their pa, you know, their dad. And it's through that simple line that we're able to pay a tribute to all the great Westerns that have gone before.
Try to leave town, my men will kill you. You refuse to fight, my men will kill you. You had your chance to quit. Now it's gone.
Men gunfighters didn't really exist anyways. It's all just a myth of the movies, that somebody really stood out there with the guns and to bring justice to the town. I mean, it didn't really happen like that, you know. That's not really how the Old West was. So the idea of the male gunfighter is just a myth anyway, so I think Simon Moore, our writer, thought, well, it's time to incorporate women into this modern mythology. Because that's what the Western is, after all. It's like the movie's version of mythology. It's our version of Hercules and Odysseus, and, you know, it's our version of the Greek myths. I tried to make the movie as visually interesting as possible.
Time.
I'm not gonna fight.
There are about 9 different gunfights in the picture, where 2 characters walk across the dust, turn, face each other, and wait for the strike of the clock to draw. And I didn't want to get too repetitive with the presentation, so I tried to come up with a different visual style for each of the gunfights. There's a gunfight between Gene Hackman and Leonardo DiCaprio. He faces off with his son. And I wanted to get into the horror of having to kill your own son or possibly kill your own father, because honor has driven them both to this position where they must square off against each other in this gladiatorial type bout. And so I used a technique that Hitchcock created for Vertigo, where he would zoom the camera in and dolly back, and creating a warping of the image. You know, as the millimeter is increasing, the distance from the subject is retreating, and it bends the image. But since we've seen it before, what I tried to do is take each shot that built up to the final draw and use this warping effect, this time by computer control, and have 100 millimeters of compression within 5 seconds for the first shot, then 120 millimeters of compression within 4 seconds, the next shot of the kid's face, then 150 millimeters of compression over a 3-second shot as he's reaching for the gun, and like 200 millimeters of compression in 1 second as Gene Hackman is watching, waiting, and sweating, and until it built to a climax of the guns exploding on the screen in big close-ups. So I tried to take each gunfight and break it apart from understanding why this scene was in the picture, what the characters were feeling, and come up with a visual presentation that would further that idea or enhance it, to make it different for the audience, to keep it interesting, you know. That was a long answer, wasn't it? Oh.